I always believed grief was something families shared together, a bridge that pulls hearts closer when life becomes too heavy. But I learned the hard way that some bridges collapse long before you ever reach them. The night Grandma died, the house was unusually silent, no shouting. No judgments, no comparisons, just a cold hush that seeped into my chest. Mom stood in the hallway with her arms crossed, her expression sharp enough to cut skin, while Dad pretended to scroll through his phone even though the screen was completely black. "You're not going," Mom said without looking at me. Her voice clipped, final, unmovable. "Grandma's funeral is for family." Family? The word hit me like a cruel joke because for years I hadn't felt like part of one. Ever since I was a kid, Grandma had been the only person who made me feel signed. She never criticized my choices, never compared me to cousins, never called my dreams foolish. She was warmth in a house always freezing. So the moment she passed, something inside me cracked open, and all the old loneliness rushed out. "Why?" I whispered, my voice trembling, but Mom didn't flinch. "Because you embarrassed us?" she snapped. "Dropping out of med school? Wasting a future we sacrificed everything for? You think you deserve to show your face there?" Dad finally looked up, his eyes cold, choosing silence as always, letting Mom's words define the truth. Anger burned beneath my ribs, but deeper than anger was heartbreak, because Grandma, of all people, deserved my goodbye. I tried to argue, tried to remind them of the nights Grandma had taken me in when Mom yelled too much, or the weekends she spent teaching me to bake when Dad didn't bother coming home, but nothing mattered. They had already decided I didn't belong. So they left early the next morning, dressed in black, doors slamming like punctuation marks in a sentence I didn't write. I watched the car disappear down the street, feeling something inside me sink like a stone at the bottom of a dark lake. Hours later, I received a call from Grandma's lawyer. "She left something for you," he said gently. "A letter. And she wanted you to have it before the funeral." My heart stuttered. "A letter for me?" When I arrived at his office, a small brown envelope sat on the desk, my name written in her shaky handwriting. My hand shook as I opened it, the smell of her perfume still faint on the paper. And then I read it, her final words. Sentence pulling me deeper into the truth she had kept hidden for years. "My sweet child," it began, "if you're reading this, it means your parents have already failed you again. But you must know something. Your life was never a disappointment, not to me. What they call failure is simply you trying to build a life they never bothered to understand." My breath hitched. Tears blurred the ink. She wrote about the nights I cried in her arms, the dreams I was too scared to say out loud, the potential she saw in me that my parents refused to acknowledge. But then, she revealed something I was never prepared to read. "They will keep trying to control you, even after I'm gone. They will try to keep you away from my funeral. They will try to silence you. But you must go anyway. Because there is something waiting for you. There's something that belongs to you. Something they never wanted you to have." My throat tightened as the final words burned into my heart. "Do not let them erase you. Do not let them steal what I left for you. You mattered to me. You always did." As I folded the letter, something inside me that had been quiet for years suddenly ignited. I wasn't going to hide. I wasn't going to obey. Grandma wanted me there. She wanted me to discover the truth she had locked away from my parents. And for the first time in my life, I felt brave enough to defy them. I stood up, clutching the letter, walked out of the office with a single vow burning in my chest. I would go to that funeral, no matter what it cost. Before we continue to the shocking second chapter, make sure to subscribe to this channel if you want more emotional, life-changing stories like this. Your support keeps these stories alive. The church was already filled when I arrived. Its tall stained glass windows glowing like shards of broken rainbows as sunlight streamed through them, casting colors over wooden pews and grieving faces. Heads turned when I entered, whispers fluttering like insects. My parents had clearly spread their version of the truth before I even walked in, their judgment dripping from every side glance. Mom stiffened as soon as she saw me, her jaw tightening until it looked painful. But I ignored her and walked straight down the aisle toward Grandma's coffin, every step heavier than the last. Seeing her lying there peaceful, still. Free from the chaos of this world hit me harder than any insult my parents had ever thrown at me. I placed a trembling hand on the edge of the coffin, feeling the smooth wood, wishing I could hear her laugh one more time. Smell her tea brewing in the kitchen, feel her warm hands holding mine. My parents approached from behind, Mom's voice a venomous whisper. Leave, now. But before I could respond, the church doors opened again, and the lawyer stepped inside. The room fell into a hush. Before the burial, he said firmly, Mrs. Eleanor requested a final reading. A message she prepared personally. My heart thudded. Mom's face paled. The lawyer opened a sealed envelope, the twin to the one I'd been given, and began reading aloud. Grandma's voice seemed to fill the room through his words, gentle and powerful all at once. If you are hearing this, then my family is gathered, though not united. I know there has been pain. I know there has been blame. But today, I want the truth spoken. The room froze. My granddaughter has been punished for choices that were never hers alone. She has been shamed for dreams that belonged to her, not to those who tried to control her. And if she was banned from this funeral, then let it be known, she is the only one I wished to see here. Gasps rippled. Mom's face drained of all color. Dad stared at the floor. Grandma wasn't done. I raised her when others ignored her cries. I listened when others silenced her. And because of that, I am leaving her something precious, something meant for her future, not theirs. The lawyer nodded and retrieved a small box from his briefcase. My parents lunged forward instinctively, but he held up a hand. This is for her. Only her. My hands shook as I opened the box. Inside was a keeled, heavy cold to the touch, and a folded document. Confused, I unfolded the paper, scanning the words as the entire room silently waited. My breath caught. Grandma had left me her house, her beautiful, peaceful, memory-filled home, the only place I ever felt safe. But that wasn't all. Attached was a second paper, a college fund she had secretly been building for me for years. Enough money to start fresh, to pursue my real passion, writing, not medicine. Enough to escape my parents' control forever. Mom exploded, stepping forward. This is ridiculous, she manipulated you. That house is ours, but the lawyer cut her off coldly. No, it never belonged to you. And Eleanor made very sure of that. For once, the church saw who my parents really were, their desperation, their greed, their bitterness. And it was Grandma, even in death, who peeled off their masks. I clutched the key, feeling a sob break free, not of sorrow, but relief, freedom, gratitude. The lawyer continued reading the final line of Grandma's letter. My child, live your life boldly. Do not fear disappointing those who never tried to understand you. Follow your own path. And remember, love is not something you have to earn. Tears streamed down my face as I stepped back from the coffin, feeling Grandma's love wrap around me like a final embrace. My parents tried to speak, to argue, to pull me back under their shadow, but I walked past them out of the church, out of their control, out of the life where I was always the disappointment. Outside, the sun warmed my skin, and for the first time in years, I felt light, free, seen. I looked down at the key. My future aunt whispered, "Thank you, Grandma." She had saved me one last time. And the best part? My story was only just beginning. If this emotional story touched your heart, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. More powerful, life-changing stories are coming, and you won't want to miss them.